As the deep space probe Venturer cut through the cold vacuum, miles from any known life, Commander Ellis squinted at the array of monitors blinking cryptic data. Space, a realm of endless mysteries, was about to unfold one more. The Venturer was not merely a ship, it was a herald of humanity's reach, plunging into the uncharted to echo back the unknown. On the main screen, a planet shimmered in hues of blue and green, orbited by two radiant moons. "Magnify Sector 7G, Ellis instructed, pointing at a landmass teeming with anomalous readings. The image zoomed, revealing intricate patterns of what appeared to be structured settlements. "It's unbelievable. Intelligent life, maybe?" Officer Lana murmured, her voice a mix of hope and disbelief. Ellis nodded. "Prepare for descent. Let's introduce ourselves." The Venturer descended, its hull trembling as it pierced the planet's atmosphere. Upon landing, the team suited up, their breaths echoing in their helmets as they stepped onto the alien soil. It was a world alive with colors, the flora stretching in unimaginable textures and scents. Suddenly, amidst the rustle of vibrant leaves, a figure approached. It was undeniably alien, tall, slender, with luminescent skin that seemed to ripple with light. Its eyes, large and expressive, studied the humans curiously. "Greetings, I am Commander Ellis of Earth." He extended a hand, a gesture of peace across the cosmos. The alien tilted its head, absorbing the movement, then mimicked it. "I am Alira," it communicated, not through spoken words but directly into their minds, its voice clear and melodic. "Your presence, here in my consciousness, it's strange," Lana confessed, her mind tingling with the alien's telepathic touch. Alira smiled, a human expression learned quickly or perhaps inherently known. "Your forms are equally curious to us." The team exchanged looks, marveling at this first peaceful contact. Alira gestured expansively. "Come, there is much to share between us." As they walked through a city of light and crystal, the technology was unlike anything they had seen, blending organically with the environment. Alira led them to a structure at the city's heart, pulsating with energy. "This is the ether core, the source of our knowledge and existence," Alira explained, her hand waving over a console that activated, swirling with data streams. "Through it we gain understanding." Ellis approached, peering at the holographic displays. "Could we learn from it?" "Of course, but understanding comes from experience, from being within," Alira suggested, her eyes gleaming with a mix of invitation and challenge. "What do you mean you'll be inside me? I need to feel it," Lana asked, the directness of her inquiry reflecting her military training's demand for clarity. Alira's laughter was like chimes. "Not in body, but in mind. To share our knowledge, you must connect with the ether core." Hesitant yet intrigued, Lana consented. She placed her hands on the console, feeling a rush of sensations and information flood through her, an intimate communion of thoughts, memories, and emotions with an alien consciousness. The experience was overwhelming, exhilarating. Lana's eyes snapped open, wide with awe. "I felt it. It's incredible." Ellis watched, aware of the monumental implications. Humanity was not alone, and this first contact could redefine their place in the universe. As the chapter of first introductions closed, a new one beckoned, promising deeper insights and perhaps, one day, a shared destiny among the stars. As the alien sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the crystal structures of the city, Lana and Ellis, accompanied by Alira, ventured deeper into the core of the alien civilization. The air vibrated with the pulse of unseen energies, the soft glow of the ether core illuminating their path. "This connection," Lana mused, still feeling the echoes of the alien knowledge in her mind. "Is it shared among all your people?" Alira nodded, her luminous skin flickering subtly. "It is the foundation of our society. Through the ether core we live as individuals, yet share a collective consciousness." Ellis, practical and ever the commander, focused on the implications. "Could this technology pose a threat to us? What safeguards do you have?" Alira led them to a quieter part of the city, where the structures were older, entwined with growing bioluminescent vines. "Our technology is built on harmony, not domination. We learned long ago that power without balance leads to destruction. Intrigued by the philosophical underpinnings of their tech, Lana touched the vines, feeling a warm, gentle hum. And what of conflicts? With such openness, how do you manage disagreements? Disagreements exist, Alira conceded, but the core helps us understand multiple perspectives simultaneously. Empathy is not just a virtue here, it is an inherent part of our interactions. As they discussed, a group of alien children approached, their eyes wide with curiosity. They were quieter, more reserved than human children, yet their intrigue was unmistakable. One child, braver than the rest, reached out to touch Lana's suit, giggling telepathically when she knelt to greet them. "Do your children learn from the core as well?" Ellis asked, watching the interaction. "From birth," Alira replied. "They are taught to connect with the core, but learning to interpret what they feel and know takes time." The conversation was interrupted by a sudden flare from the ether core. Alira stiffened, her expression turning solemn. "There is something amiss, an anomaly in the core's flow." "What kind of anomaly?" Lana asked, her instincts kicking in. "It's a dissonance, something foreign, perhaps linked to your arrival," Alira speculated, her tone neither accusing nor fearful, simply analytical. Ellis exchanged a worried glance with Lana. "Could our presence be harming your system?" Alira considered this. Not harm, but influence. The core is sensitive to new variables. We must explore this further. They returned to the central chamber where other aliens, elders by their more intricate light patterns, joined them. The group formed a circle around the core, their hands raised, creating a complex web of light that pulsed rhythmically. "Join us," Alira invited. "Your energy, your essence will help us identify the dissonance." Lana and Ellis stepped into the circle, hesitant but trusting. As they connected, a surge of collective alien memories washed over them. Histories, dreams, fears, and a profound sense of unity. The anomaly soon revealed itself in the form of a darker strand in the web, an echo of something foreign yet familiar. It was not malicious, merely different, a shade of thought shaped by humanity's unique perspective on survival and independence. "We see now," one of the elders spoke through the network. "This is a teaching moment for us all. Your presence brings us new insights, just as we share ours with you." The session ended with a strengthened mutual understanding, and as they disconnected, Lana felt a profound shift within herself. This was no longer just a diplomatic mission. It was a merging of worlds, of minds, a step towards something vastly greater. As they walked back into the fading light, their silhouettes softened by the setting suns, the weight of this newfound connection settled in, a promise of infinite possibilities that lay ahead. The following days on the alien planet were a blend of intense study and mutual discovery. Ellis and Lana spent hours each day connected to the ether core, navigating the complex web of shared consciousness, each session bringing them closer to understanding the alien way of life. Meanwhile, Alira and her people delved into the human psyche, intrigued by the stark contrasts and vibrant individualism of their new visitors. In one of the many sprawling gardens, Lana found herself with a group of alien scholars, her mind still buzzing from a recent connection session. They were exploring human literature, a concept somewhat foreign to them, given their communal knowledge-sharing. "You create stories, separate from truth?" one scholar queried, her tone rich with wonder. Lana nodded, trying to find the words to explain the nuances. "Stories help us understand our world and ourselves. They are truth, just seen through different eyes, felt through different hearts." Intrigued, the aliens proposed an experiment. Could we create a story together, one that blends our truths? The collaborative effort that followed was profound. Lana shared human myths and legends, while the aliens offered visions from their history. Together, they crafted a narrative that spoke of unity and conflict, of stars and dreams, creating a story neither entirely human nor alien, but something entirely new. Meanwhile, Ellis worked with the alien engineers and scientists, exploring the technical aspects of the ether core and its applications. The technology was advanced, but its principles were not entirely beyond human comprehension. It was based on a sophisticated understanding of quantum entanglement, applied on a macro scale. One engineer, whose body shimmered with a particularly bright hue, explained, "The core is like an orchestra, each note perfectly in tune with the others, producing a symphony of thoughts and emotions." Ellis, always eager to understand the practical applications, asked, "Could this technology help us solve issues like resource scarcity or political strife?" "Possibly," the engineer mused. "But each system must be attuned to its individual needs and capacities. Your world is different, more fragmented. The adaptation would require significant adjustments." As the sun set, casting long shadows through the crystalline buildings, Lana and Ellis met in the communal area, where Alira awaited them. She looked different somehow, her usual glow tempered by a somber shade. "We have observed your world through the narratives you've shared," Alira began, her voice resonant in their minds. "There is much beauty, but also much chaos." Lana acknowledged this with a nod, the weight of her world's woes a stark contrast to the harmony around them. "It is not our place to judge," Alira continued, "but perhaps in sharing our technology, we can offer tools to build rather than destroy, to unify rather than divide." Ellis considered this, aware of the tremendous responsibility such knowledge would entail. "We need to prepare carefully. The introduction of such technology could be disruptive." "Yes," Alira agreed. "We propose a trial, a small controlled application of our technology on Earth to see how it integrates with your systems." The plan was set into motion with careful optimism. As the venturer prepared for the return trip, laden not just with data but with potential, Lana and Ellis felt the gravity of what was to come. They were no longer mere explorers or ambassadors. They were bridges between worlds, carrying back a spark that might one day light the entire human race. Back on Earth, the venturer's return was met with a mixture of awe and apprehension. Lana and Ellis, now ambassadors of a groundbreaking interspecies collaboration, briefed the United Nations' newly formed Extraterrestrial Relations Committee. Their report detailed the proposed trial of alien technology, a test that could potentially revolutionize human existence. The selected trial site was an isolated island in the Pacific, chosen for its controlled environment and minimal risk of unintended spread. The technology, a smaller version of the ether core, was installed, its iridescent structure contrasting starkly with the lush greenery of the island. The initial phase involved environmental applications. The core's energy influenced plant growth, encouraging biodiversity without the use of chemical fertilizers or genetic modifications. Scientists from around the world watched as crop yields increased and ecosystems flourished, the island becoming a testament to sustainable development. However, the human trials proved more complex. The integration of a communal knowledge system into a society built on individual achievement and privacy raised ethical questions. Volunteers, equipped with neural interfaces, experienced the first wave of shared consciousness. During a high-level meeting, Ellis presented the early findings. Participants report a profound sense of connection, a blurring of personal boundaries that is both enlightening and, for some, unsettling. A psychologist, Dr. Mira Lang, added, "There's potential for therapeutic applications. Imagine treating isolation or depression with connectivity. But there's also the risk of losing one's sense of self. We must tread carefully." The feedback from the volunteers was varied. Some relished the communal mind, finding in it a peace they had never known. Others struggled, feeling overwhelmed by the constant presence of others in their thoughts. Lana led a town hall on the island, where participants shared their experiences. One volunteer, an elderly man named Harold, described it with a serene smile. "It's like being in a constant embrace, a feeling of never being alone." A young woman, however, expressed her dissent. "It's intrusive. I feel like I can't escape, can't have a single private thought." As the trials progressed, Ellis and Lana communicated regularly with Alira, who offered insights from her people's long history with the technology. "Adaptation takes time," she advised, "and not all will choose this path. That is the nature of choice." Back on the island, Engineers adjusted the interfaces, seeking a balance that would allow individuals to toggle the depth of their connectivity. This feature aimed to preserve individual autonomy while offering the benefits of communal interaction. The trial's results were mixed, but promising enough to continue. Reports detailed increases in empathy and collaboration, a notable reduction in conflicts, and a revitalized connection with the natural world. Meanwhile, debates raged globally. Ethicists, leaders, and citizens grappled with the implications of this new technology. Could humanity adapt to such a fundamental change in social dynamics? What would it mean for privacy, for individuality? As the sun set over the island, casting long shadows and bathing the core in a golden light, Lana stood beside the shimmering structure, pondering the future. The world was watching, waiting to see if humanity would step into this new era of connection and understanding, or if the cost to their cherished individualism was too great. Months had passed since the Ether Core's technology was introduced to Earth. As the island trial continued to yield varied but insightful results, public opinion began to sway cautiously towards cautious optimism. In major cities around the world, forums and debates filled halls and airwaves, dissecting every aspect of this unprecedented integration. In Geneva, a symposium was convened, gathering top minds in ethics, technology, and global governance. Lana presented the latest data, her voice steady despite the gravity of the findings. The core's influence has extended beyond environmental rejuvenation. It's fostering a new kind of socio-political dialogue rooted in shared understanding rather than adversarial debate. The session was streamed globally, and at every university, public square, and online platform, the discussions flared. People were fascinated by the idea of a society where empathy was not just a moral choice, but facilitated by technology. Meanwhile, Ellis had returned to the island to oversee the implementation of a new protocol, selective connectivity. This feature allowed volunteers to decide when to engage or disengage from the collective consciousness, addressing one of the most contentious issues of the trial. On the island, a group of volunteers gathered around the core, their expressions mixed with anticipation and apprehension. Ellis watched as they activated the interfaces. The air was filled with a palpable tension as each individual took the plunge into shared consciousness, only to retreat into solitude at will. One of the volunteers, an engineer named Sophia, shared her experience. It's transformative. When I choose to connect, I feel a surge of collective wisdom and empathy. Yet I can also be just me, alone with my thoughts. It's the best of both worlds. Back on Earth, this development sparked a new wave of enthusiasm. The potential to maintain individuality while accessing collective insights seemed to address the primary fears of the technology's detractors. As these developments unfolded, Alira visited Earth, her first time witnessing her people's technology in a foreign soil. She toured the island, her presence a serene contrast to the bustling activity. Her feedback was invaluable, providing adjustments to enhance the core's integration with human physiology. In one of her talks, broadcasted to an international audience, Alira reflected on the journey. Seeing your world embrace this aspect of our culture, adapting it in your own unique way, shows the beauty of interstellar cooperation. We are learning as much from you as you are from us. At the United Nations, a special session was convened to discuss the future of the core's technology on Earth. Delegates debated the next steps, considering proposals for expanding the trial sites. Ellis, participating via a secure link from the island, proposed a cautious yet hopeful roadmap. Let's pilot this in cities willing to participate, creating urban models of what society can become with the integration of our two world strengths. The proposal was met with a mixture of applause and skepticism, but the prevailing sentiment was one of curiosity and a desire to explore the unknown potentials of this synthesis. As evening fell over Geneva, the city's lights reflected off the lake, mirroring the world's cautious yet hopeful gaze towards a future where human and alien insights could blend into a new paradigm of existence. The path ahead was uncharted, but for the first time in human history, it was not a path they walked alone. The pilot cities, chosen from different continents, each embarked on the journey of integration under the watchful eyes of the global community. Sophia, now a leading liaison for the Ether Core's implementation, traveled between these cities, aiding in the adaptation of the technology to diverse cultural landscapes. Her own experiences on the island had equipped her with a deep understanding of the delicate balance between individual autonomy and collective consciousness. In Tokyo, the integration focused on enhancing urban planning and public transport systems, using the core to synchronize services with real-time emotional and population data. The results were staggering. Traffic flow improved, and accidents decreased dramatically as drivers and pedestrians became attuned to each other's intentions and moods. Meanwhile, in Sao Paulo, the core was applied to public safety and community policing. Officers connected to the core were better able to de-escalate potentially violent situations, understanding the underlying emotional currents that led to conflicts. Community trust in law enforcement saw a significant upturn. In Nairobi, the technology's application in educational systems allowed students to experience a form of empathetic education, significantly improving learning outcomes. Teachers could understand the needs of their students on a profoundly personal level, tailoring lessons to previously unnoticed emotional or cognitive blocks. Ellis, overseeing the expansions from the UN's newly established Department of Extraterrestrial Technologies, found himself often in dialogue with world leaders, negotiating the intricacies of human rights and privacy in this new context. "We are not just redesigning systems," he would explain. "We are redefining the very essence of community and individual interaction." Alira, visiting each pilot city, observed these changes with a mixture of pride and humility. During a speech in New York, she reflected on the evolution of her own people through their technology. "We once faced challenges similar to yours: division, misunderstanding, conflict. It was not the technology alone that transformed us, but a commitment to see the value in every life, a commitment I see you embracing." As the pilot year drew to a close, the results were compiled into a comprehensive report and presented at a global summit. Lana, who had spent the year documenting the human stories behind the technology's impact, shared her insights. People fear loss of privacy, and rightly so. But they also crave connection, understanding, and community. This technology doesn't have to diminish us. It can expand our sense of self to include others in ways we never imagined possible. The summit concluded with a vote. Nations were given the choice to adopt the technology, with guidelines and support to ensure its ethical application. The vote was overwhelmingly positive, though cautious, with rigorous safeguards put in place. As the delegates dispersed, the world did not look much different on the surface. But beneath, in the undercurrents of human and alien interactions, a new wave was forming, one that promised a future of shared understanding and perhaps one day, a shared destiny. Back on the island where it all began, the original ether core pulsed softly, its light a beacon across the dark seas. Sophia, Ellis, Lana, and Alira stood together one evening, looking out at the horizon where the sky met the ocean. "We've come far," Lana said, her voice reflective. "And still far to go," Ellis added, his gaze steady on the glowing horizon. Alira smiled, her thoughts resonant with their own. Together, always. In that moment, as the stars began to prick the velvet night, their shared journey resonated with a profound truth. Connection is the essence of existence, and in connection, they found the promise of a new dawn.